News out of St. Paul right now, where we've confirmed ICE activity at a home. The presence of agents is drawing a pretty large crowd with tensions rising. Our Danny Spiewak is live there now. Hey, Danny, what are you seeing?
Well, a bit of a volatile scene here on the east side of St. Paul in the Payne-Phelan neighborhood. Let's show you the house where federal agents have gone inside. We know that we have multiple federal agents here. We saw somebody with an ICE vest, Homeland Security. We also saw U.S. Marshals, and doing crowd control is St. Paul Police. So you can see that there is a large group of protesters that are shouting at both the local and federal law enforcement officials that are here on scene. We do not know the purpose of this law enforcement activity. We know that it's centralized at a home, but we do not know who's leading it, what the purpose of it or nature of it is. So we can't speculate until we get information from authorities about what exactly they're doing here on the east side of St. Paul.
Okay, guys, welcome to the video. It looks like the ICE is doing another operation in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they were saying that Homeland Security is there, with some other departments, and the local St. Paul police is really doing crowd control, so they're not really in any type of leadership position in this operation, and it's been a lot that's been going on. I have a video coming up about some of the funds within the state being sent to terrorist organizations. We have to see what's going on, get more updates as far as this. But right now, we do know that there are federal agents that are back in St. Paul, Minnesota, conducting operations. Um, and they may be, more so going after like people that are Somalians, because I know that they have a quite large Somalian, group within St. Paul, Minnesota. So, we'll just have to wait and get more information when it becomes available. And it looks like a very, very large crowd that was gathered out there. I mean, you see people to the far right, people in front, and I'm sure to the left of this camera, there's a lot of people. So it's a lot of people here, in this frame that's protesting the fact that there are federal agents within St. Paul, Minnesota. But I'm going to let the video continue here.
But of course, there are tensions given that there was that raid just a week ago.
Wow, they're tear gassing folks, and Buddy just got hit with the tear gas pretty bad. I mean, he has a mask on, but that mask, it looks like that mask is it's like a fabric mask, so it's pretty much just going to absorb the tear gas, so you just end up breathing in that tear gas. So, but yeah, they just dumped a load of tear gas on this guy.
In St. Paul, and so this drew a large crowd once they heard that there was federal activity at a home here on the east side. So listen to what one of the witnesses says. We know that at least two.
Wow, they got the tear gas cannons. Just trying to back people up. People are just getting just showered with tear gas. It's crazy. Like, I know they didn't expect to take a tear gas shower, but when people go out and protest, you got to expect anything really, because these law enforcement officers are giving you clear demands and you're not really listening. So at least they're using less lethal force. They're not really, you know, trying to beat people down or trying to arrest people. They're just really backing people up. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who, still was coming forward and protesting that there may have been arrests, but they're they're really showering everybody with tear gas, which is definitely wild.
Multiple people were taken into custody by both federal and local law enforcement during the protests. That was why they were taken into custody. That our photojournalist David Peterlin saw that with his own eyes.
I stand corrected. Yeah, so they were arresting people who wasn't listening to commands, and it looks like they're out there with like paintball guns. And I'm not sure what they're shooting out of those paintball guns, but I'm sure it's something that's less lethal. Um, because that would be the last thing they want, is the fact that like police or like any type of federal agents are actually using lethal force against the protesters. You know, that's definitely the last thing they want in the news or last thing they'll want to happen. But, you know, they definitely have deterrents and things that, will move a crowd back. And, you see people of all ages out there, really. Older people, you see young adults, and, just steady breathing in tear gas isn't like the best thing for you to do. It's made to, get you to get up out of there. So, see what else they have to say here.
And we know that use of pepper spray was also seen here on the scene. So listen to what one of the witnesses said.
They arrested one guy when he was going to work before they went in the house. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. You know, if they're criminals, I can see it. If they're doing bad, yeah. But if they're making a living, man, leave them alone.
It's funny, she says that, if it's criminals, yeah, you know, go ahead and deport them. How do you know if they're a criminal or not? They have to go through the process. And if they're making a living, that's good. That's what we want people to do. But if they're here illegally, how are you able to just come and take a job from someone who, may be here legally or a U.S. citizen, and you haven't went through the process and went through all the proper channels to make sure that you are able to have that job and not necessarily be paid under the table, et cetera, et cetera. So, I halfway agree with what she was saying there. But we don't know if they're criminals or not. We really don't know. But that's the job of these federal agents to find out. And so it seems like they're out there doing their job, really.
Once again, I just want to emphasize we have no information at this time about the purpose or nature of this law enforcement activity from federal authorities. So we don't want to speculate about what's happening here. But of course, people are on high alert in the community. A lot of neighbors have come over to see what's been going on. We know Melvin Carter, St. Paul mayor, was here as well. He was talking to members of his own department. We heard a little bit of that conversation, just overheard him talking to St. Paul police, asking them a little more about just what they were doing here. Of course, they cannot enforce federal immigration law. They are just here strictly for crowd control. That's all they can legally do under the law. So we'll continue to be here and see what develops throughout the rest of the day. Back to you.
All right, thanks for the update. Looks like the community there wanting some answers.
Yeah, as they should. The community should want answers and want to know, why such a heavy force such a big operation with this many federal agents in their city. They have the right to know. They're tax-paying citizens who pay their taxes in order for, a lot of these people to, um, you know, get paid and stuff like that. So hopefully a little more information will be released here in the coming hours so we'll know exactly what's going on. Like I said, I have another video that's, covering a topic of money being funneled back to Somalia to help fund a terrorist gang, and we'll see what we can find out more about this situation. But if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.